On this episode of Fun or Run, we're taking a look at PS3 game Splatterhouse.
Sorry about that. What just happened? I don't understand, but yeah, I guess we'll just keep going with the intro. Splatterhouse. I'm going to be playing this on PS3. So, to bring it back in all seriousness, this is the first episode of my new run of Fun or Run games, and it's going to be retro Fun or Run. I'm coming into this game completely blind to it. I've not played this before. I don't have nostalgia for it. And I know a lot of you out there might have nostalgia for it, so hopefully what I have to say isn't going to make you want to start coming after me like the guy in this thing and slap me in the face with a bat and stuff. So that's what we're here to find out. Retro Fun or Run, I'm giving this at least an hour, and then I will let you know what I think, if this is fun or if you should run. Alright, so first off, gotta thank Go Jays Go for recommending this game in the comments of my last video. I honestly wouldn't normally review this one, but it was a pretty good suggestion, so be warned, this one's not for the kiddies, okay? This is a game from back in 2010, a remake of the old 2D side-scrolling gore-fest slasher games from the 16-bit era. Back when the originals came out, they were very controversial with all the blood and gore, but today they look pretty tame. So I think that's the whole point of this game, is that in 2010, they went all out for the blood and guts, heavy metal, and don't forget about the video game nudity.
It's Nudie Magazine Day!
Yep, it's Nudie Magazine Day in Splatterhouse. So just turning on this game, it is very clear that you are in for a bloody time. There's a monster who looks like a messed up golem or something, and even the menu screens are bathed in guts. This game has a bunch of unlocks, moves to learn, things like that. You collect blood to spend on these upgrades, similar to the old God of War games. You also collect a lot of other things along the way to unlock different survival arenas, where you fight waves of evil demons, as well as other collectibles. Even the original games are here and unlockable in this game. So that's pretty cool. As far as the story goes, it follows the old games. For the most part, you are Rick, and apparently the evil Dr. West has done some evil to you, and he has also stolen your girl and ran off as you lay in a pool of blood, but there's a mask there. No, it's not Jason's mask from Friday the 13th, even if it pretty much looked just like that in the old games. But no, it's the terror mask. It basically offers to help you if you put it on. And of course, Rick does this, and he is then transformed into a giant hulking beast of a man and begins to smash and tear his way through the levels to save the love of his life, Jen. And that's pretty much it. So it begins. First level starts you off with the old video game thing where you have all the abilities to begin with, and then, oh wait, we got to take them away from you, and you get to earn those back along the way. So, yeah, you got that going for you. And then after that, you really start the beginning of the game, the actual beginning. The gameplay here is your basic beat 'em up with different buttons for different attacks and grabs. You can also grab an enemy just before they are finished off, and the game goes into kind of a glory kill mode. Glory kill, kind of like Doom. And you perform a quick time event that gives you a really nice gory kill. They look really cool, and they're a whole lot of fun the first couple of times you see them. But you will see them an awful lot. So there's that, right? There are also weapons that you can pick up. You can even use the arms of the guys that you ripped off. You rip off an arm off of a monster and then slap the other monsters around with it. That's pretty nice. I also really like the look and the sounds, especially the sounds of just pummeling the bad guys. It sounds really good. So I played it for a while, and just when I started to kind of get bored with the game, two things happened. The first thing that happened was I found some little pieces of paper on the ground. They were ripped up photos of Jen, your girlfriend, right? And it appeared that if you collected all the parts of the photo, you got the entire photo for your collection. So the game calls them intimate photos. Oh yes. She's apparently getting dragged through this, I don't even know if it's a mansion or what. She's getting dragged through by this evil doctor, and she's ripping up copies of naked pictures of her that you took, and she's leaving them all around the place for you to collect as you're trying to rescue her. Hey, that's one way of leaving a trail to follow, I guess, right? Leaving a bunch of naked pictures all over the place. That's how I do it. So secondly, the second thing that actually got me kind of interested, back involved with the game, was that it changed to a 2D side-scrolling section. This was pretty fun and felt like the old games with a new coat of blood and guts. I really liked that idea, and I found that to be pretty cool and a lot of fun. But eventually, the game did drag on a bit. You know, you find yourself fighting the same enemies over and over, and until you learn some new moves, you basically finish these guys off the same way that you do over and over again. Did I also mention the glory kills that you see over and over and over and over and over endlessly? Yeah, those are really cool. Again, like I said, the first couple times. Some parts of this game do get pretty challenging. You will get through it, but you might need a few tries to learn the moves and how to use them. The really bad thing here is this is kind of old school, where the checkpoints are pretty far spread out, and when you die, you go back. You go back pretty far, and you even have to repeat some of the unskippable cutscenes then. So yeah, the boss battles, they're not real bad. At least the guy that I was fighting, he wasn't the toughest, but I did die a couple times at the beginning fighting him because I was in the wrong place, and he kills you really quickly. And I had a couple times where I got killed really fast before I was able to figure it out, and I had to go back and go through a couple areas over again and watch the cutscene again. Yeah, that got pretty old fast. Another issue that I kind of noticed in tight spaces when you're going down corridors or hallways was that the camera doesn't really know what to do, and sometimes it gets so close to you that it was pretty tough to see much of anything in the halls. You just can't see very well. You just mash the buttons and hope for the best. The other thing about this game that kind of put me off a little bit was that it tries to be edgy with lots of foul language, and when you die, it does things like call you a noob when you die.
Fucking noob.
Like, oh boy, sick burn, Splatterhouse. Oh, I don't know if I'll recover from that one. I got called a noob. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, when it comes to fun or run, there's a fine line between the two. So I said I was going to play this for at least an hour. I played my required hour of the game, and it actually pulled me in enough that I hung on for about another half hour. I checked the game, looked through some things, and found that there's a bunch more levels and some other bosses, and don't forget a whole bunch more naked pictures to find. But I'm sure the gameplay really isn't going to change a whole lot. Kind of feel like I saw everything that there is to see on this game other than different levels. So overall, this game gets a lot of things right. I liked how it looked, I liked how it sounds, it is pretty fun, but the repetitive things and a lot of this other stuff where they're trying to be edgy and stuff, didn't really hook me or pull me in completely. So if I had been playing this game back when I was in my late teens, you know, when I wasn't Chad the Gaming Dad, but I was just some dude named Chad that was a teenager, boy, this would have been the greatest game ever. With all the cussing and the gore and the boobs, I would have thought this was the greatest thing I've ever played. But sadly, I am not in my late teens anymore. Kind of far from it. So, one other thing here is the game does look like it is still something that's available. You can still find it. It's not too expensive. It's about $15. So, to wrap this up as far as the retro funner run, we're asking the question of, is this fun today? It's a retro game. Is it something that would keep your attention, something that you want to play for more than an hour? Or should you run, right? Fun or run. So taking into account the fact that it's not a super expensive game, you can still get your hands on it Still looks good, still sounds good. It's a pretty fun time. You know, not every game's going to make you want to sit down and play it for 10 hours in a row. And this is certainly not that kind of game that would make you want to do that. But I kind of think I probably will go back to it occasionally to play it for maybe another hour. See if I can get through the next level. Maybe unlock some of the retro games that are in there, the original Splatterhouses and things like that. So, considering everything, as I said, there's a fine line between fun and run. Well, I think this one crossed the line. I was thinking run for a while, but there's just enough fun in there to be had that, yeah, you know what? It's fun. Hey, thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching the entire video. I hope you liked it. The best way to help out the channel is to leave a like, leave a comment, and tell your friends. If you'd like to support the channel further, there are links in the description. But otherwise, always remember that you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and we'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody.